Okay. So for today, we're going to play a verb tense activity. So we're going to work on our tenses. So what do you know about verb tenses?
There's past, present.
Past and present. What else is there? So yeah, like you said, there's past and present, so we can speak in past tense. What do you know about speaking in past tense?
Past, everything ends with an ed.
Okay, you're right. Everything ends in the ed because it's in the past. What about present?
It's like you're talking now.
Right, it's present day. Everything's happening now. So what do we know when we're talking in present tense? What do we know about the verbs?
There's ing.
Okay.
Ing's added. Es is added.
Yeah, you're on the right track. So everything ends with like ing or es. That's a good one. That's a little more advanced. And then there's one more tense that you haven't mentioned yet. So we've got future. And what do you know about future tense?
It's like you say, I will go to the store soon.
Okay. So there's one word.
So like you're going to do it before.
Yes, it's going to happen soon. In the future. So when verbs are in future tense, what's the word that typically goes before them?
Will.
Yeah, will is pretty much it. So this is the chart that I have here, and it shows how verbs show time. So everything is categorized in past, present, and future. So like you had said, in the past, verbs end in ed. So here they show examples of walked, played, baked, skipped. Everything happened in the past. In the present, it ends with ing. So skipping, playing, baking, walking. And then in future tense, it has the word will before it. So will bake, will skip, will play, will walk. Also, something fun about this chart, I don't know if you noticed, but there's characters here, little...
Oh.
Yeah, past is like old. They...
Who drew that?
I don't know, but it does a good job of representing the different tenses of the verbs.
Whoever drew that is a good drawer.
Yeah. So I have flashcards here. So I've got verbs that are in the past, verbs that are in the present, and verbs that are in the future. And so I'm just going to kind of scramble them all up.
No.
It's kind of hard because they're slips of paper, so it's not... But basically, we're going to like shuffle them all around. Oh, you went the wrong way. Just kind of make a shuffling mess here. But anyways, then I'll have you put these verbs. There you go. I'll have you put the verbs in the right category.
No, don't do that.
All right, so what did you put in the past?
Danced, skipped, and cheered.
And in the present?
Running, singing, walking.
And in the future?
Will bring, will hop, will jump.
Yep. Yep. So okay, so looking at these verbs, what's the difference between the past verbs and the present verbs?
Ed, ing.
What's the difference between the past verbs and the future verbs?
No ed, no endings.
Okay.
There's no endings except the first word is always will.
Yes. What's the difference between the present verbs and the future verbs?
You're doing present, you're doing it now. Future, you'll do it later.
You got it. Okay, so I'll check to see if our activity online is working. Oops, that's not the right.
Google.
Oh, here we go. Okay.
Yay!
So I'll get these put out of the way. Okay, so you're going to play this game, and And let me see. It's like a verb tense speed game. So you have to, it'll help you with your verb tenses. But the instructions say this racing game is all about verb tenses. You'll see a question at the bottom of the screen using a verb. You're going to click on the correct tense of the given verb, and if you answer correctly, your car gets a speed boost by a fixed factor. If you can't answer it correctly, all the cars except yours get a speed boost, so your car will go slower than theirs. And if you click on a wrong option, your car's speed will reduce by a random.
No, I'm not getting these wrong. I'll get.
So I thought you could play this game for a couple minutes, and then that would finish up this activity.
Which one's me?
So sings is
Present. Why did five?
That's right.
Okay, then give me the name.
so shall get.
Well done.
Baked.
Oops, this is incorrect.
I think you were right. It just went really quickly. Bears.
This is present.
That's right.
Went.
Went would be past.
Wonderful.
So you're the yellow car.
Ah,
Okay, bathe.
baby. Present.
Fantastic.
Nice. Appear.
Future.
Oops,
No,
this is
don't give them a
incorrect.
boost. Shall help is future.
Wonderful.
Became.
Past.
Great job.
Rise.
Present. Why
Keep going.
began? Present. Yeah, present.
Oops,
No.
this is incorrect.
Will stay.
Is future.
Keep it up.
Will do.
Oops,
Oh,
this
they
is
changed.
incorrect.
Speak.
Is present.
Keep it up.
Added is past.
Excellent.
Got. I got the mail.
Oops, this is incorrect.
Add is my name. It's present.
Fantastic.
Will help is future.
Excellent.
Roars is present.
That's right.
Beg
I beg for food.
is present.
Brilliant.
Won't give is future.
But no.
Yeah. No.
That's right.
There we go. It's a little delayed.
Um,
Arise.
present.
That's right.
Then. Past. Wait. Future. Yeah. Past.
Oops,
Well,
this is
I'm
incorrect.
losing. Right.
Right.
Present.
Bravo.
Shouts. Present.
Keep going.
Decided. Past.
Keep it up.
We'll see. Future.
Keep going.
Arose. Present.
Oops,
What?
this is incorrect.
Answer is.
Keep it up.
Cried is past.
Bravo.
Drove is.
Great job.
Won't finish is future.
Bravo.
Drank
Oh, you almost
future. Oh, no. Come on.
Brilliant.
are. Okay, plays.
She
Plays with her dog.
private
Wonderful.
hit.
I hit the ball.
Present.
Brilliant.
I will open the gate.
Bravo.
I shall call my mom.
Oops. Nice try.
Oh, you
can
got
do
third.
it better.
How do you get first?
So anyways, that is our activity.
Yay!
We'll exit out of that one. That was kind of fun, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so for our next activity, we're going to support opinions with evidence. What do you know about supporting your opinion with evidence? How do you support opinions?
Use stuff that you know.
Yeah, so what is an opinion? Let's start there.
I like tractors and another person may not like tractors.
Right, so it might be something that you like that I might not like. So an opinion is something that you think or feel. An opinion is something that I think or feel. And you will learn as you get into the upper grades, when you get
Older.
that teachers will want you to use evidence to support your opinions. So that way you can't just say, well, I like this because gray is my favorite color. Or I like, I don't know. I like
boots.
Yeah, those are Rocky boots. I only like Rocky boots. I don't like, what's another brand of boots?
Ariat.
I don't like Ariat boots. So you might be like, well, Carly, why do you say that you only like Rocky boots, but you don't like Ariat boots? What's your evidence? Well, then my evidence would be like, Ariat boots are too expensive. Or Ariat boots, for me, they're uncomfortable because the padding is not very thick.
Those will walk in snow and won't get wet.
Oh, there you go. So there's another thing of supportive evidence. So basically, when we have an opinion, we want to use evidence to support it. So today, I have this poem over here. It's in blue. And we're going to read, I'll read it first, and then we can read it together. So the poem is called I Opened a Book by Julia Donaldson. And it says, I opened a book, and in I strode. Now nobody can find me. I left my chair, my house, my road, my town, and my world behind me. I'm wearing the cloak, I've slipped on the ring, I've swallowed the magic potion. I've fought with a dragon, dined with a king, and dived in a bottomless ocean. I opened a book and made some friends. I shared their tears and laughter, and followed their road, with its bumps and bends, to the happily ever after. I finished my book, and out I came. The cloak can no longer hide me. My chair and my house are just the same, but I have a book inside me. What do you think that means?
Like she's reading a book and she's really into it.
Yeah. Do you remember back a couple weeks ago when...
Yeah.
Yeah? Do you know what I was going to say? What was I going to say?
We finished the book. If I finished the book.
Okay, but before then... we
I'm
talked about...
jumping into the book in our comfort zone.
Yes. And do you remember what we called that? That zone that we go into when we feel like we're actually in the book?
Nope.
That's called the reading zone.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, so the student, what do we think is happening to this reader?
She's falling in love with the book.
Yeah, she's falling in love with the book. She feels like she's in the book. So she's drifting into the reading zone. Have you ever been in the reading zone before?
Nope.
You haven't? You've never felt like when you're reading a book, you don't feel like you're actually
Except
in there?
the only book I'm in the reading zone is the... Wait, what is it? Where the Red Fern Grows with my grandma.
Yeah? Do you feel like you're in the book when you read that one?
There's a dog in there and I love him.
Yeah. Yes, that happens to me all the time too. When
or
you feel
the
like
other book is Shiloh.
Shiloh, that's a good one too. You feel like you're in that book when you read it.
The poor doggy gets beat up by a German Shepherd.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's sad.
And I had to watch the movie of it the other day, and it's scary.
Yeah.
At school.
Yeah, that's probably a book. That's probably a scene that I would not want to be in. If I fall when you're in the reading zone, I probably wouldn't want to be in that particular part of the book. Okay, so I'll have you read this now. So are you able to see it?
Yeah.
Okay.
I opened a book and I strode. Now nobody can find me. I've left my chair, my house, my road, my town, my world behind me. I'm wearing the cloak. I've slipped on the ring. I've swallowed the magic potion. I've fought for a dragon.
With a dragon.
With a dragon. Yep. Dined with a king. And dived with a bottom.
Dived in a.
in a bottomless ocean. I opened a book and made some friends. I shared their tears and laughter. And followed their road with its bumps and bends to happily ever after. I finished my book and out I came. The coat no longer hid me.
Hide me.
Hide me. My chair and my house are just the same, but I have a book inside me.
Yes. Okay, so what I want you to do with your computer is I want you to think about the poem, think about its meaning, and we talked about how the poem is like going into the reading zone. So when you're reading a book, you feel like you're actually inside the poem, or you're actually inside the story. So I want you to think about your experiences of going into the reading zone and this poem, and what I want you to do is write an opinion piece of what you think this poem is about and how you can relate to it. So this is totally your opinion on what you think the poem is about.
I don't know. The poem is about a girl in a book or a person in a book.
Yeah, you're right. Yep. So we just start typing that. Yeah. So you have to think about what you know about the poem. And here, I'll make it bigger so that way you can see it. And you can refer back to it. How's that look?
Whoa! Look at that. Ha 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 ha.
Mm-hmm.
It goes from 11 to 18.
There you go. So when
Why
you write...
did it freeze? There we go.
Okay. So what else do you know about the poem? Or what else do you think this poem is about?
Dragon? Back in the olden days. Because there was no dragons now alive.
Okay. So what kind of book do you think she's reading?
Fantasy.
Oh. That's a good point to include.
What is it, a girl or a boy?
It doesn't say. We probably shouldn't make assumptions. We can just say the reader.
Okay.
Since we don't know if the reader's a girl or a boy.
My be reading a fantasy book.
And why do you think she's reading why do you think they are reading a fantasy book?
Because it says dragons are fantasy because they're no longer alive.
That's perfect. I would include that in your opinion too. You're on the right track. You were
Dragons. Are not alive now. There we go.
okay. So let's try to get how many. You've got 2 sentences right now.
3.
3. Okay. So we'll try to get 2 more sentences. And let's look at the second line, the second stanza. It says, I opened a book and made some friends. I shared their tears and laughter and followed their road with its bumps and bends to the happily ever after. What do you think that means?
Towards the end of the book.
That's a good point, yep. So, yeah. You think the reader might be towards the end of the book?
Could be at the end of the book.
Because, why do you think they might be at the end of the book?
And followed their roads with bumps and ends and happily ever after.
Okay. So what's the happily ever afters?
And it said, there we go.
Okay. And then the last stanza says, I finished my book and out I came. The cloak can no longer hide me. My chair and my house are just the same, but I have a book inside me. What do you think?
She finished the book and she came out of the book.
Yeah. What do you think? It says the cloak can no longer hide me. What do you think that is referring to?
Her blanket? She was reading under a blanket?
Oh, that might be good. That might be a good idea.
She could be reading with a sweatshirt hood on.
Those are good thoughts.
The coat.
Yeah.
She could have her hiding spot.
She could.
With pillows and blankets like my sister's living room.
Yeah, those are good thoughts. So I think, yeah, you would be good to pick one.
Okay.
Or all of them and include them.
Okay. There we go.
And then you just have to use evidence. That makes you
It
think.
was out of the story. It was out of the poem, and it said, the cloak can no longer hide me.
There you go. Oh, wait, okay.
Can no longer
Excuse me.
me.
All right. So read to me what you've got. This is your opinion. So I'm not going to critique your opinion. I just want to make sure that you've got evidence to support your opinion.
It's about a person in a book. It's about a person in a book they love. The reader might be reading a fantasy book. Dragons are not alive nowadays.
Okay.
The person could be at the end of the book because it said happily ever after. The reader could be in a fort with pillows and blankets and it said the cloak could no longer hide me.
All right. I like your opinion on that. And so that was your opinion just based upon what the poem was about. Yes. All right. So, okay, what else do I have here?
The Oreo.
Oh, I forgot to go over it. Well, we kind of did go over
I know
this.
what that means.
The Oreo.
Oh, state your opinion. Tell your reason for the opinion. Give an example and restate your opinion.
Nice.
I had to write one of them in 3rd grade, and then we made an Oreo dessert.
Oh, yum.
We had to write an Oreo, and then we got an Oreo dessert.
That sounds good.
My teacher was pregnant with a baby, so my grandma was the sub.
Oh, that's fun. All right, that's it for our activity for week 3.
Well, it's actually a week.
Okay, so for this next activity, we're going to talk about meaningful cultural objects. So we're going to talk about culture and objects that have meaning to us. So to start off, I found a book online called Children Around the World. Have you heard of that book before? No. Okay, so I pulled up a YouTube video of students reading it to us. So I thought we would follow that. So we'll follow along with the reading, and then we can discuss what the book was about.
Okay.
And then I did tell you to bring a personal, meaningful object, and we're going to write a description about our objects. I have my object too, and I do have my
Your description.
description written up. So we'll just you'll need your computer again for this, but not at this moment. Okay,
Okay.
so let me get to my video. So this is about 10 minutes long.
I may have seen the book, but I've never read it.
Okay. Well, because it's 10 minutes long, I'm going to stop recording, and then I'm going to re-record when we talk about the book. Okay, so after listening to the book being read to us, Children Around the World, what was something that stuck out to you from what the entire book was about?
There's different people all over the world.
There are different people all over the world. And what did we learn about all of these people from around the world?
They're all different.
They are all different.
Like some like sushi, and if it's not sushi that wrapped in rice and stuff, it's sushimi.
Yeah.
With fish.
Yuck. Raw fish, too. We always cook our meat here, don't we?
Yeah.
Yeah. So what was do you remember one person that we read about that really stuck out to you? Tim? Why did Tim stick out to you?
Because we live in the United States.
Yeah. And he talked about living in New York City, which when we live in Iowa, so we live in a different part of the country than Tim does. So what was different about Tim's lifestyle compared to ours?
He's at a big city.
Mm-hmm.
And he lives in an apartment on floor 31, which would be really creepy.
Yeah, can you imagine living on the 31st floor of a building?
And then you get up in the middle of the night to go to the bathroom, and you look out the window. Yuck.
And skyscrapers everywhere.
Mm.
Yeah.
They're kind of like windmills. Annoying. Red. Flashing.
Yeah, Tim actually stuck out to me a lot, too. And I liked hearing about Kathy from Australia.
Oh, sure.
That's France.
Oh, too.
They didn't have anyone from France, though.
No.
No, they didn't. So, yeah, after listening to that story being read, we learned that there are all different types of people around the world, aren't there?
Around the world.
Yes, so with having different people around the world, there's also different cultures and different beliefs. So I had okay, let me just make sure that I'm on the right track here.
I think you are.
You think I am?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Okay, so you've got a personally meaningful object to you, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, and I have mine too. So I will share mine first, and then I'll have you share yours. And then you're going to need your computer soon because you'll type up a description about your specific object, and then I guess you can share that with me. So first, okay, let me make sure. Yep, this is what we're going to do. Okay. So, this is my meaningful object. This is a willow tree, and I'll show it in here too. So it's a picture, or it's not a picture, but it's
I have a couple of them around my house.
Yeah, you do. So it's a figurine. This one is of a father and his two daughters. It's very dusty because it's been sitting on my shelf for a very long time. I didn't realize how dusty it was. Oh my gosh.
My sister has one of my mom and my dad and her.
Yeah?
It was a little baby. It was a mom and a dad and then a little baby.
I have a lot of different ones, but I like this particular one, and here's my description that I wrote about it. So this object, it's meaningful to me because it includes a father and his two daughters. So when my dad died, somebody gave this to me. I don't remember who, but it's meaningful to me because it reminds me of the relationship that I had with my dad and with my younger sister. So every time I look at this, I think of myself, my sister, and then my dad. So that's my meaningful object. So what I want you to do is, you can write it on the same document too.
Yeah.
What I want you to do is write up a description about your meaningful object, and then I'll have you share that with me.
Okay. So the video has a lot to say with it too.
Okay.
When the judge says stuff. So,
I guess a good way to start with writing up your description is you can start with what your object is. So you could write about what it is.
and how this and this is.
And I want you to think about, so there's in the story, there was all those people in the world, all those young kids in the world. They all have different backgrounds. So by looking at your object, they think about like the girl from Japan who might not be familiar with what your object is.
What was that girl that had the sheep? Where's that from?
There was a lot. One was from Greece in particular, but they might not. They might not show sheep like we do here.
So this object is. They never really said when I got it.
But it looks like a trophy. So maybe, yeah, just talk about what your object is. You can share how you got it and why it's meaningful to you. Just a short description. I'll put this back.
Can I say it's my first one?
Oh, yeah, you can say whatever you want.
There's my dad's, the blue one.
Oh, that's neat.
And then he got a big pig one. And he got another big pig one.
Yeah, so you can talk about why that trophy is meaningful to you. And, yeah, this is all about you. Why it's meaningful to you. You can share how hard you worked to get it.
I didn't really work hard. The judge told me what to do, and then I just immediately did it.
Oh.
And then he was like, okay. He was going between me and a girl when he was trying to choose the champion. And then he chose the other girl, and then he got me.
You could talk about in your description what showing sheep means to your family.
I don't even know how long we've had sheep.
Very long time. It's like a tradition for your family.
Let's see. There's not even sheep in that old picture. Must have been a long time ago.
Yeah, that is a very long time ago. I remember when that house was there.
And did you see that one? Is there?
Oh, yeah. Your newer one?
Yeah, that was 2 to 3 years ago. June 6, 2017.
All right. How's your description going? And let me know when you're ready, and then I'll have you
I don't
share.
know.
Yeah, so just think about what this object means. You picked it for a reason.
My
So
mom
what-
just said that.
Oh,
Because
did she?
helped me.
Oh,
So,
but it means something to you. So yeah, you just got to think about what it means to you. It's kind of hard because you have to think on a different perspective about this.
no, not Laura. Lot of practice and what else did my dad say? I let my sheep go and then he yelled at me. He said you gotta take a lot of practice and he said hard work. What did he say? Hard work and I know what my teacher says. Hard work and education. Hard work and
I'll give you a few more minutes to wrap up your thoughts, and then I'll have to share, okay?
work. Double.
All right. Are you ready to share? Okay, so first, tell us what your object is.
A sheep trophy.
So it's a sheep trophy. Okay, and why is that meaningful to you?
This is a sheep trophy. This is meaningful to me because it's my first one I get. Sheep to my family mean a lot of hard work, practice and hard work.
Yes. So for those that don't know, you come from a sheep raising background, right? Your family, they show sheep, they raise sheep. Do you butcher your sheep?
We used to, and then we stopped.
And then you stopped. But your dad has a business, doesn't he? He sells sheep.
Yeah.
Show sheep.
No. He just got new cars the other day in that jar.
You got what?
I'll show you. Those are his more construction. These are our old ones.
There you go. Yeah, so you
That's
guys sell
our
sheep.
old one. It's more clublands.
Yeah.
The new ones are here. There we go. Here's the updated one.
Nice. So, yeah, your dad, so your dad has a business where he breeds and sells sheep.
And
in
we
return,
got this sheep right off of here.
yes. And in return, you show sheep, don't you?
And another family of my friends.
Yeah. So that's kind of neat. So I was just thinking, like, when we are talking with
Here's the picture at the fair.
Nice. That's a cool picture.
The sheep, when I showed it Spencer, it was like, he just kept poop every time.
Oh.
And it was like...
So you go to a lot of different shows then, don't you?
This year I went to SAC, Marcus, Spencer Pop Show. Next year I might go somewhere else.
Yeah. So you just are busy showing your sheep.
Next year my dad said we might go down to a camp for like a week.
Oh, fun.
And that means me and him. And then my mom and my sister would stay here.
Fun. Okay, so going back to our story, so it's about children around the world. So if you were in this book, if they had a segment that said, "Hi, I'm Addison from Audible," what would you put in there?
I love to show sheep and play with farm animals like cats, dogs.
Yeah. Would you talk about your parents?
Yeah.
What would you say about your parents?
My parents are very nice. And
you better get Elena in there too. Yes.
No, she would be mean to me this morning.
Oh.
And I better put my elves in there. I play with my elves.
All right. So to wrap up this activity, what did we learn?
Not everyone's the same.
Not everyone's the same. Everyone is different, and we all have different.
In our own personal ways.
There you go. Everyone's different in their own personal ways. Okay. Okay, so for this next activity, we're going to play the game Roll the Dice, Make a Question. But before we do that, I want to read this poem to you to get you thinking about questions. Okay. So this poem is called Asking Questions, and it says, "When I asked my mom What's for tea? She smiles and says, wait and see. When I ask my dad what things he's done, he smiles and says, in a minute, son. When I ask my gran if I can watch TV, I'll think about it, she says to me. So when I ask my gran if I can watch TV, I'll think about it, she says to me. When I ask my gramps about the good days, now you're asking, he smiles and says. If I answer the questions my teacher asks me with in a minute or wait and see, I know just what the results would be. So if your teacher asked you, hey Addie, what's 2 times 2? And you said, in a minute.
I'd get in big trouble.
Yeah, we would get, that's right. Okay, so now I've got this video that I'm going to pull up, and it's just going to talk to us about forming questions. I bet you have an idea of what we're going to do in this next activity.
You said rolling dice.
Oh.
Something with dice.
How to form questions in English from espressoenglish.net. Many students get confused with the word order in questions, but there's a simple way to form almost any question in English. Just follow this formula. Question word, auxiliary verb, subject, main verb.
So this is like an acronym. It's QUASM. And so when you're trying to form a question, I want you to think about your question word, a verb, a subject, and then a main verb.
This formula can be used for many tenses. Let's look at some examples. Simple present questions. Where do you work?
And here it
Where
shows
is the question word?
the different
Do
parts.
is the auxiliary verb. You is the subject. And work is the main verb. Another example is, what does he think about this? In this case, the auxiliary verb is does because the subject is he. Questions in the simple past also follow this pattern.
Remember, we
How
talked about
did
past
she
tense
like
verbs,
the workshop?
or verb
Where
tense
did
verb,
you
or
buy
verb
that
tense-
t-shirt?
Verbs?
Yes,
For
verbs
questions
and our
in the
tense-
simple
tenses.
past, the auxiliary
is-
verb
Like we just
is did.
The
Mhm.
other...
Here are
Activity,
2
though.
questions in the present continuous. What are you doing right now?
And so, yeah, basically, it's looking at those tenses of verbs and how
Okay.
we formulate the questions.
Why is Peter ignoring me? It's the same formula, but the auxiliary verb is a form of the verb to be, are or is, instead of do or does.
Something that kind of goes like
In the past,
So it's just telling us how
I
to
go to
form
Mrs.
questions.
Scoogs in my classroom, and we talked about thick and thin questions.
Oh,
So a thin question would be like, who is the main character in the story? Then a thick question would be, what would you have done if you were in the story, like I said yesterday?
yes. Okay, so I pulled up this anchor chart and
Who?
the
What? Where?
why and how.
Wow.
So it kind of shows you how to set up a question. So yeah, there's different ways to set up questions. Those are different question words. So what we're going to do is we're going to play the game Roll the Dice, Make a Question. So with this game, I've got my dice, and I'm just going to roll it.
Oh, it's on the computer?
Yeah, I did it through the computer. So we just roll a dice. Whoops.
Random.org.
Okay, allow. Okay, so we roll the dice, and it's just going to
6.
change it. So I have numbered cards on here. So number 1 is who.
What?
Number 2 is what.
Why?
Number 3 is why.
4. Where?
Number 4 is where.
5 is when.
5 is when.
And 6 is how.
And 6 is how. So what we're going to do is we're going to roll the dice. And whatever number we get for our dice, we have to form a question using
Oh no.
that word. And we have to do all of these.
Oh no! What
Yep.
if we get doubles?
And that we do doubles then. Yep. So I have a marker. So I thought we can just mark which ones that we've done. So that way we know what ones we still have to do.
So,
Okay. So I'll roll. So we've got a 2.
what?
So my question, I'll start. What are you going to do today?
I did school.
You're going to do school. Okay. So then I'll roll again for you. And then you're going to form a question and I'll answer it. You got a 3.
Why are we in a pandemic?
Why are we in a pandemic? We are in a pandemic because
IDK. China ate raw bats.
China, yes. Somehow it came from bats. I don't know if somebody ate a bat or what, but
China ate raw bats.
They ate bats and got sick, and that virus has passed on to us.
And it sucks.
Yeah, it's not very fun. Oh, we got 3 again. So why are you wearing your sweat? Why are you wearing an orange sweatshirt today?
I don't know, because it's warm inside it.
Because it's warm. Okay.
Okay. Good. Better not get 3 again. Roll again.
It happened here. I think my computer froze.
Come on. Dice.
There we go. 1. Your turn.
Who is your teacher?
Who is my teacher? My teacher, her name is, well, okay, I have different classes. So for this particular class, I have to double check. I have Dr. Has for 2 of my classes, but I should check which one. Who do I have for this class?
You don't know.
I know, I should know. I think her name is Dr. Jill Seifkin. That's who I have. Dr. Jill Seifkin. Okay. Let's go back.
Is that who you have to send this to?
Yes.
Videos?
Yep. Oh, we got 2, which is what? What is your favorite food?
That's hard. Tater tot casserole.
Tater tot casserole.
Without lima beans.
Oh, yeah. I don't like those either. Ooh, we got 4.
Where? Where is Casey at?
Where is Casey at? Casey is at my house. She is home.
Roll again, dice.
Oh, we got 5.
When
are you going back to school?
Next Monday.
Next Monday.
And I'm happy. Dice work. 1. Who is a friend of yours?
Ooh, who is a friend of mine? I have a friend named Sierra. She's a very good friend of mine. 4. Where's Elena?
Maybe in the house. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
In the house, I think. Doing something.
Oh, yes!
How are you doing today?
I am doing good. How are you doing today?
Good.
Ooh, careful. That hit me. Alrighty. So, that is the end of that activity.
Tell me about it is next.
Tell me about it is next. Okay. Okay, so our last activity is called Tell Me About It. So, I have this video about adjectives.
For 1 minute.
For 1 minute.
What are adjectives? An adjective is a word that describes or adds information about a noun. Adjectives often describe shape, size,
and
color, and even state, mood, and purpose.
State.
A simple sentence like, the fish swims, doesn't have any adjectives. But adjectives can add interesting details. The sentence, the happy blue fish swims, tells us a lot more about the fish. Adjectives can be tricky to spot. They can end with a lot of different suffixes. While adjectives are often in front of the nouns they modify,
They can also act as complements to the predicate in a sentence,
Oh, no.
and then they may appear after the predicate. Remember, you can spot an adjective when it is describing a noun or adding extra information about it.
Ugly.
Use adjectives to add details to your writing or speech. For more grammar tips, visit yourdictionary.com.
You don't need your dictionary.
No. Okay, so before we start with our last activity, I want to go over this anchor chart. It just shows us, it says adjectives tell us about nouns. So
How
what's,
can you read that?
I don't know, but I can. So it just says, what size? Is it tall? Is it short? What color is it? Red, orange, yellow, green. Is it
Red,
sharp? Is it
orange,
dull?
yellow,
How
green.
does something feel?
Um,
How many are there? How does a noun look? Is it soft? Is it scary? Is it bright? Is it dim? Is it loud? So like, how does something sound? Is it loud? Is it quiet? How does something taste? Is it sour? Is it sweet? How does something
Salty.
behave? Is it nice or is it slow? What's the shape? How does something smell? Those are just kind of things that help us think about adjectives. Okay?
We could do the taste and smell for COVID-19.
Yes. Okay, so I drew pictures. I truly drew these. They are amazing.
You drew them?
Yes, I did. And
Did
I
you get
want
them off the internet?
No. I know. I did good. Okay, so, and they smell good too because they're
Did you
Mr.
show-
Sketch.
Did you show Casey up?
Nope.
You should show Casey
I should. Okay,
of your
so
amazing artwork.
I'm going to show you a picture. And you can hold it. You can smell it. I used Mr.
Sketch marker.
Yes, so they have a
Mr.
smell.
Mr. Sentiti marker.
Yep. So you can smell it, and you have to just describe it with adjectives, okay?
Balloons.
Okay.
The balloons fly high.
You have to describe the picture.
It's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 balloons and 6 strings, and they are in a circle and a squiggly line.
Okay. Is there anything else you want to include?
Um,
I kind of blew this up that way you could refer to it
No,
as a guide.
I don't know how tall they are.
Okay. All right.
You should have measured them.
Ready for the next one?
Yep. How'd you draw that good of a horse?
So here's the balloons.
Okay, the horse is tall.
Okay.
The horse is brown. The horse is smiling because he's happy. And the horse is different colors.
Yeah.
And there's the horse.
Yep. I'll show the horse. I'm an artist. I know it. Just
You
kidding.
should-
That one I actually had to use.
The internet!
They show you like the step-by-step how to draw.
Oh, yeah.
That's what I did. Okay.
You probably didn't have to
So
use that.
here's the next picture.
The rainbow. The rainbow is tall. It's red, orange, yellow, green, purple, blue. Blue, purple. And it smells really good.
What do you smell?
All the colors.
You smell all the colors, but like, is there a smell that sticks out to you?
Where's the purple? The purple. It smells like
Purple.
nerds.
Oh, like the candy? Yeah, sounds good. Okay. Oh,
Lemon.
this is.
It's sour if you eat it.
And
And it smells.
what's it smell like?
It's what?
Probably doesn't smell like a lemon, but I don't know what it
No,
smells
it don't
like.
smell. It don't smell like a lemon. It's those little candy candy cups. They're like pop flavored. And you put them in. It smells like the cane.
Okay. So what else? So what color is it?
Yellow.
What shape is it?
So oval.
How does this taste?
Sour.
Yeah, that's a good description.
Really sour. If you eat it, you might go.
Okay, so here's my next picture.
Elephant. He's blue. He's teal. I think I have the same exact markers. Okay.
So
He's blue and black.
Mhm.
He's very fat.
Thank you.
And the regular elephants are fat.
Have you felt an elephant before?
No.
Oh, okay.
I don't want to feel one.
Oh.
Did
probably.
you have to use this off the internet?
Yeah.
I told you you use the internet.
Again, it was step by step. Okay. There's that.
I know.
Okay. Let's see. Okay.
It's an open box. I think I might know what the last one is. I don't know though.
Okay.
It's
so,
an open box and it's brown and it's tall.
what shape is it in?
It's a 3D shape. Cube.
A cube? Okay. That
It
works.
looks like you had to draw it in pencil first.
Yeah, I did.
And then you had to erase it.
Okay. So here's the next picture. What do you think that is?
It's gonna be. It's hot.
Something.
Whoa! It could burn your hand.
Yeah. Why do you think it would be hot?
The fire. It's a fire. Or lava.
Why do you think it's a fire? What
Because
about it makes you think?
fire could be any color, like yellow, orange, and red. Or it could be.
So if it is a
volcano.
fire, what do you know about fire?
They're very hot.
It's hot. Is it something you would want to taste?
Nope.
No, I wouldn't want to taste a fire either.
It's very warm.
It's warm.
It keeps me warm from the cold.
Mhm.
You can burn stuff in it.
Yeah. That's good. That's good.
It could either be a fire or a volcano.
It's fire. It's a flame. Yep. So then here's the last picture.
I thought that looks like a Christmas tree from the other side.
Oh, yeah. Well, what shape is it?
It's
Or
a
what-
triangle.
What can you tell me? It's actually supposed to be this way. But what can you tell me about this image?
It's a triangle.
Okay.
And it's blue.
Okay.
And if you turn it this way, it's a pyramid.
Is a triangle a pyramid? Is a pyramid a triangle? Or are they two different things?
It's two different things.
They are. That's right.
But if you turn it this way, it looks like one of those Egypt pyramids
Mm.
where you walk up.
Mm. All right. That is Tell Me About It. And that was our last activity.
Bye-bye.